Hey y'all boys, we're back with another solo leveling Arise video, and again, Alpha Leaker has provided even more leaks, of course, to the community. Thank him for so much of all the information that we're getting. This will help us, understand what's to come, what we have to prep in advance, what characters will be here, stuff like that, things that you might want to save for. This helps a lot for the free-to-play community, even though, whales, because then, I mean, maybe or maybe not. I think whales would probably still whale anyways, but yeah, they're probably more prepared than most people. But yeah, anyways, of course, credit to Alpha Leaker for providing all this information. We do have a couple things to go over and content that's going to be coming in the future. Of course, I might be late in providing this information, but of course, more exposure is better for the community, so that way more people are aware, right? So it doesn't even matter who does it first, when it happens, just as long as it's out there, right? So first up, he says the upcoming content chapter lock. So basically, after chapter 16 in story, you will unlock gems, right? And then you will unlock bonds after chapter 3, right? So it says right here, you have this, right? Battlefield of Chaos. This seems to be chapter 15, okay. And then the gems will be at chapter 16. And then at chapter 18, we'll unlock the Workshop of Brilliant Light. And then bonds will be just after chapter 3. So most people will have it unlocked, at least the ones that are going to be watching the video, of course, for the leaks. Most people will have it unlocked already. But if you are a new player, then you already know when you're going to unlock that, right? So this will be the gem tab. I believe this is in like the little UI when you open up your top right. And then same for bonds, right? Right. So, I mean, gems, that's going to be very interesting. Same for bonds. See how bonds work, whether they give you stat bonuses or what of the sort, right? Gems, I'm assuming they're probably going to be like attachments to like gear or your characters. Okay, so we'll be having a new mode, Battlefield of Chaos. Boss monsters are randomly summoned in the Battlefield of Chaos. Defeat the consecutive boss monsters to earn rewards. So I'm assuming this is going to be like some kind of like floor kind of thing, where like you continue, like, so you know how like Battlefield of Trials is very like, you do your first stage, your second stage, your third, fourth, fifth, and so forth, all the way until your 30th. It's going to be very something similar to that, I'm sure. And yeah, I mean, you're going to get rewards as you do it. So basically, in my opinion, reskin of Battlefield of Trials. Yeah. Okay, so next up we have the Workshop of Brilliant Light. So there's going to be that mode that you unlock after Chapter 18. You can have the Avaricious Vulcan and Baron the Demon King. You can have normal, and then you're gonna have hard difficulty. It says required 3. Now, I don't know what required 3 means. I'm assuming it is going to be 3 different teams. I could be wrong, or maybe it could just be 3 characters. I don't know. I'm just looking at this from the perspective of not understanding it, but just taking the information face front. Your fighting ability, which is like your combat power, needs, right? It needs to be 194,000. That's the recommended. Just for normal, by the way, just for normal itself. So hard might be insane. Hard might be like 240k. Who knows? Even more. Here on the bottom, it's like purple. I don't know if this signifies anything. See, you have 3 tickets, so I'm assuming it's like 3 plays. So you have your Demon Castle entrance, and then you have multiple paths. So you have your Burning Overpass, then you have your 25th floor, and then you have the Burning Square, and then you have the Demon's Castle at the 50th floor, right? So I'm assuming Vulcan goes up to 50, but then Baron himself might be higher. Baron might be even more difficult than Vulcan. We'll see. But basically, these are going to be your paths. There's going to be rewards. It says Curse of, but it doesn't give any more information than that. It says clear records will reset every Monday at 6 a.m. Now, I don't know if that's timed or what it is, but or maybe this is just when you complete it, you're not able to do it again, and when you get them, they're one-time rewards at least until it resets again weekly. We'll see. And then yes, So basically, you have to have a required battle class of 15. I'm not entirely sure how much power that is. I don't remember off the top of my head, but you do have to have quite a bit of power to even be able to attempt this. So this is basically going to be end game type of stuff, and that's just for normal, right? So hard might be even more higher requirement, like maybe battle class 17 or something. Who knows? As you can see, there's new types of gear on here on the bottom. These are none of these are gears that we already have in the game. These are going to be brand new artifacts that you can get from Vulcan. And you can see there's only the 4 stars and the 5 stars. That's why I like to call them the 4 star and 5 star rarities, but the purples and golds. It says enter is 0 tickets. So maybe you use tickets on hard. Level 70. And then you use it. And then, yeah, this is basically how it's going to look. It says you're going to have the burning overpass, not acquired. So maybe this is probably like a buff to your team when you continuously keep going like floors. Like maybe you do Demon Castle entrance and then you go to Burning Overpass to get a little buff because it has like a little up icon, so it might increase your stats, and then you continue, right? Then you have the Burning Square, which is also the same. It also says not acquired, so I'm assuming it is also the same. And then you have the Curse of Avarice. Now it doesn't really show where you get that. We can assume that maybe it's the 25th floor that you get the Curse of Avarice, but we don't know. And then you're able to reset your dungeon, of course, as well. Judging by you have 3 tickets, you probably get 3 tickets weekly as well. And it probably resets, and then you'll be able to get your tickets back every week, and then do your 3 runs again or whatever. So this is gonna be end game long, tedious grind. I mean, because then of course you're fighting for like certain stats and stuff on the gears that you get on the way up. And yeah, that's all the information on that. There's not really any like, it doesn't really show the reward details. They don't have that on the leak, but overall, I appreciate the information that he's given, and we'll just move on to the next leak. Okay, so basically, you can have the feature gems. They can be equipped to an artifact. Okay, so like I was saying before, it was probably to a character, an artifact, but it's going to be to an artifact. So you can basically equip gems to your artifact, and you have 8 artifacts. So we'll see. Gem constellation is unlocked when the conditions are met, and that is chapter 16. And then basically you can grow your account by equipping the gems you own in slots. 5 gem slots. Switch gems, gem fusions, gem inventories, gem tests, and the legendary gem selection chest. So basically you have 5 gem slots. You're able to switch the gems. That's going to be one of the actions. You're going to have gem fusion, which I'm assuming you put 2 like let's say you have 2 3-star gems, you fuse them together and then you get a higher rarity of gems. Oh, excuse me. We actually already have the fusion feature in the game, right? So like maybe it's something like that where like you're able to just use the materials that you get and then just fuse for a gem, right? Yeah, that might be more likely. Then you have your gem inventory standard for like everything in the game. So it having its own inventory is good, so stuff doesn't get cluttered. Then you have a gem chest, which I'm assuming you just open the chest and then it gives you a random gem. And then you have the legendary gem selection chest, which sounds like it might just be like a pay to win thing that you just buy from the shop, to be honest, or you get from like rank 1 from like some event ranking. Who knows? But yeah, that's going to be the gems. Not much to talk about there, aside that you're going to have gems that equip to your artifacts. So good luck. You're going to be farming artifacts, and then you're going to be farming gems to equip onto the artifacts. So it's going to be getting kind of crazy. Our stats are going to be going through the roof. Next up, we have Baron. So Baron and Kaisa are going to be floor 100's boss. So we did take a look at the Workshop of Brilliant, and they did have, floors like, floor 50. So maybe, and we did see earlier that he does have his own little tabs. So I'm assuming that he's probably going to be at 100, right? He's going to be at 100. So that's pretty cool. That's the art. Start for both of them. Next up, we have Mode Dimensional Gap. It's a mode where you can select the Dimensional Gap route through randomly generated stages, clear them, obtain blessings, and defeat the boss. It's a game mode where you accumulate buffs to break through each area to reach the final one. So I'm trying to remember. There is a game that's very similar to doing something like this. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember what game it is. Oh, but anyways, it's very like roguelite-ish. So basically, you're just gonna go in, you're gonna get these buffs, and you're gonna continue doing the stages and get further to try to get to the end, right? And then of course you'll get currency, which is dimensional crystal. So you just do dimensional gap for the crystals, and then you exchange them for items. Item, it's a key that resets the dimensional gap. So very similar to the instances, your gates, and your encores. Clear battle stages in dimensional gap to earn buffs, okay? Just like the roguelite. Clear stages in dimensional gap and climb ranks to earn weekly rewards. So it's going to be ranked. I guess I'm assuming it's probably how fast you clear it or how far you get. I am not entirely sure. The dimensional gap resets weekly. Okay, so question is, does the keys reset daily or do they reset weekly as well? Right, because there is keys, right? If you've already obtained the reward, you can't obtain it again, even if you use currency to reset the stage, clear the boss stage to earn the dimensional gap reward. Okay, so there's going to be bosses, you beat the boss, then you claim your reward. Once you get the reward, which I'm assuming is the milestone rewards for getting to a certain stage, you can't get them again, and then you have to wait for the reset, the next week. So overall, this is your roguelike type mode. You're gonna have key for it. It's gonna be weekly, so you don't have to worry about doing it every day. So that's good, right? Unless you're doing, trying to rank high. Next up, you have your feature, cards. So there's no image or icon for this, so I'm just going to assume that it's going to be way later, but they're releasing the leak for this now. Acquire a monster card that can be equipped to an artifact. Okay, so basically you get you have gems and you have cards that you got to equip to your artifacts. So not only do you have to get good luck on your artifact, you have to get cards too, and you have to get gems. Bro, it's gonna be hell, bro. It is gonna be hell. Unless the cards are like fixed and they're just fixed like items that you get and there's no like kind of like blessings where then you don't have to really like RNG for them or something. I mean, you do have to RNG for blessings, but you know what I mean. Like, there's not like any stats or anything. We'll see. Never mind, I lied. Look at it. Monster card chest. GG, guys. Acquire a monster that can be equipped to an artifact. When the card is unequipped, it cannot be selected again. Now, what is this referring to? Like, once you equip it to that card, and then you unequip it, you cannot select it again? Like, can you not equip that card to that artifact anymore? Like you basically brick the artifact? I wonder. Cards can be obtained from clearing and defeating bosses and stages. So you have 5 card slots, just like the gems. So you have 5 card slots. You have the combined cards. So you can combine cards and then get higher rarity of cards. Or maybe it just gives you a random one. I don't know. Monster card chest, of course, to get cards. And then you have the legendary card selection. This is definitely pay to win, bro. I'm telling you, it has to be pay to win. There's no way they're letting you get legendaries for free, bro. Anyways, those are the cards. We'll move on to the next one. So basically, they have a Grand Marshal version of the Shadows not implemented yet, which I am assuming this is going to be like when you upgrade them and you get to the highest rarity on them on your Shadows page. A lot of people aren't going to be able to get this straight away anyways, because you need a lot of materials to get them up to, this status. Hell, even the other status, like even getting them to Knight and Elite and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, we have Iron, looks absolutely insane. Like, look at it. It looks so nice and crispy. Holy, look at Idris. Oh my god, GG. Actual Chad. And then we have Baruka, or Blades. And then we have Tank. Holy, Tank looks like a Chad, bro. Bro looks like Volley Bear from fucking League. It's crazy. With that one skin. Holy. Giga Chad. But those are going to be the Grand Marshal version, so we'll move on. Next up, we have the League 4 Tusk. So Tusk will be coming to the game. He's more likely to be the very next Shadow that's coming. So basically, all team members' core attack increases by 40%. This is at no like dupes or anything. Nothing increases or anything. This is just at base, right? At common rank. So it's going to be 40% core attack damage. So as I said before, it's going to be very good for Alicia in the other video that I made, because she does do core attack. So this is going to be insane. I'm not going to lie, 40% sounds insane, but like it's only when you do your core attack, and I don't know how many like you doing your core attack. If you're not using like Dragon Knights for a core attack build, then it's kind of like, okay, how frequently are you going to be even proccing your core attack? But I mean, it sounds good if you are doing a core attack build, so we'll see. I wish they kind of shown the skills. And then this is going to be at Elite Knight, and then of course, we will be getting Grand Marshal version surely of him as well. And then at max, that's 70% core attack damage. Sounds pretty insane, but we'll see. Gets another skill too. Gets another skill at Elite or possibly Knight. I'm not entirely sure. And then this is his icon when he is inside your box, right? Like when you check all your shadows and stuff. Oh, okay, here's the skills. Perfect. So you have your basic attack. The user attacks by throwing small mana power towards the ground, creating a small explosive area. Then you have your basic attack over here. The user attacks by throwing forward-facing fiery blades. Okay, so it's like ranged. The user creates a divination circle to the front and fires 6 tracking fire orbs at the enemy. This is tracking fire orbs. Then you have erupting flames. The user attacks the enemy with flames that erupt beneath the ground till the target is standing on 5 times. Actually pretty good. And then you have concentrated heat. So this is basically like their actual skill, like their ult, right? The user gathers heat above their head to create a giant fire orb before throwing it to attack the enemy. And then when using this skill, it applies the attack increase effect to all shadows, increases attack by 30%, duration 10 seconds. So in my opinion, you're probably going to want to run him on your team no matter what, as you don't have to use him as your main, like your shadow authority, but you can use him as your, like one of your subs. Your subs are your shadow, because this is going to be insane, increasing the attack of all your shadows. You're basically going to be buffing all their damage, right? So I feel like he's going to be like a staple in a lot of the teams. You're just going to put him in there, and then you can put like, I believe it's Tank. I believe it's Tank that stuns. I could be wrong. I think it's Tank that stuns him, and then you can put Igris as your leader, so that way you get the crit hit rate. But if you're capping on crit on your main DPS, then you can put Baruka or Blades to get more damage. Or if you're using a defense build, then of course then you could use Iron as your main, right? So then you have Iron, Igris, or Tank as your main, and then you use him as your sub. Actually insane. Holy, that's pretty good. Actually really like this. Concentrated Heat is actually really nice. Overall, pretty good shadow in my opinion. I actually really like it. Even if you don't use him for the core attack, it's really good for just having him on your team. So next up we have Werewolf. This is a shadow for Werewolf. Interesting. So you have Werewolf, and then we have Cerebus. So basically you have Cerebus Shadow, and then these are the minions of the Cerebus. There's not too much information if they're going to continue doing this or if they scrapped it, but they did say that they were going to be doing like original shadows and stuff like that. So we'll see. I mean, it seems more likely that we will get this, but I feel like it's going to be more in the future. There's no way they did all this work for no reason, right? But you can see all the skill icons are the same, so they're probably still working on it. You have the normal werewolf, and then you have the alpha wolf Snow. And then you have Cerebus. So, yep, we'll see if we get them in the future. And then we have the unreleased artifacts and items. So we have Awakening Tonic, which is like, I think this is just a story item, right? Oh no, Hunter Upgrade. Okay, so you use this on a Hunter, and then what does it do? Like maybe it's a chance to uncap your character. So like for example, if you're at level 75, maybe you use this and it uncaps them, like raises their max cap to 80. I'm not really sure yet. Doesn't really say. Not a lot of information. Or I mean, it could be an item for what is that thing called? The 3 lines or whatever, like 3 triangle thingies or whatever. Bro, I forgot what it's called. Maybe it's for that, like when you get to the last one and then you can just use this. I'm not sure. This forcefully overloads a hunter's magic. Holy. Because like it is next to the mana potions, like as you see right here, like those mana potion things that you use on them. So I just assumed that maybe this is just for that as well. Like maybe it takes them all the way to the max, or maybe it's to get another tier of it. I don't know. Then you can see there's another tier of like your hunters. Like, is this your hunter or is this your skill level ups for your shadows? Because I see an Idris face on it, and then I see this one. Interesting. These are definitely new, so I definitely wonder what they are for. Then you can see we have like a book over here, and this scroll over here, which is the lower rarity. This is the medium rarity, and this is the high rarity. And then you have the high rarity of this course, and then you have these scrolls, and then you have these scrolls. I really think these are probably for like shadow skill level ups. I'm not entirely sure though, but that's what I think. And of course your designs, and then you have more of them down here, your lowest rarity. And then your cubes, still the same. Your fire, water, wind, light, dark. And then you see these three like shell things that you like. I don't know what those are. Anyways, we'll go on to the next page. So basically, these are the artifacts. Um, Punishment of the White Flames helmet. So these are like the helmets that you get from doing the Vulcan boss. Legendary. Level 80, by the way. So these are level 80. So these are going to be the gears that you're going to be farming. Fighting ability, 3,513. So this is basically going to. This is just basically an indicator to show how much fighting ability you're getting from this specific item. I think this is just going to be a feature they add to all gear overall. So the main stat is additional defense, 1055, and then as you can see here, additional stamina, damage increase, and cooldown reduction. So now you have cooldown reduction and additional stamina. I don't think there's additional stamina, and I definitely know there's no cooldown reduction. So these are going to be some new stats. Nowadays, you're probably going to be wanting to go damage increase, cooldown reduction, attack percent or HP or defense percent depending on the character, and then your crit rate, and then you can go crit damage boots. I think that's the best way to do it because then with the crit damage boots, you'll be able to hit at least close to 150 crit damage if you're scaling your things correctly. It says over here on the 5-set effect, so basically you have to have a full 5-set. A full 5-set. So basically you need to have chest, the helmet, the gloves, the boots, and it looks like this is belt, so there might be adding a 5th slot for gear, because you can see right here there's a belt icon. So now we're gonna have belts too, which is like it's actually I don't even really know. That means like when you're trying to make your builds, like for early game, you could probably go 2 piece of one set, 2 piece of another set, and then your one last piece for like belt or whatever you left last can be used as an offset, right? So then basically you could it's kind of easier in the early game, right? That's actually not bad, unless they decide to add a 5th effect to all the gears, but I highly doubt it. So I think that's going to be a new way of trying to build characters now from these artifacts. Not bad, not bad. You can see there's lower rarities, even the blues and all that, which is going to suck getting those when you're trying to get the purples and golds. And they have all 4 of them, so all 3 of them, of the new ones. I believe this one is new as well, because this is the breakable, so I believe that's new too. So you can have all 4. You can have these 4. There's going to be 4 new sets. Not bad. We can go on to the next one, but these are some nice, interesting stats that's going to change the way you build a lot of your characters now that you have cooldown reduction into it. Since I'm running Huang a lot, I'm probably going to be wanting this because I do need that cooldown reduction. I'm probably going to go cooldown reduction and a lot of MP consumption reduction, so that way I could just keep spamming skills like crazy. We'll see. And then you have an accessory set effect. Holy, okay, so there's even more to it. Jesus. So basically, you have a burning curse set effect, and this applies with 8 sets. There's an 8-set effect to it. Jesus Christ! So like basically, you have to have 4 pieces of the main set and then 4 pieces of the accessories as well. Jesus, it's gonna be annoying. So basically, it applies the curse effect, decreases HP and increases overall damage. I'm assuming this is supposed to be every second or something. So yeah, interesting. When HP gets low, the player becomes immortal for a short period of time. It doesn't say how many times this procs. I'm assuming it's probably just going to be 1 time. The curse is going to be annoying, like especially for playing like really hard bosses, like with like environmental effects, like environmental damage, because then you're going to be getting low, and then you're probably gonna proc your immortal early, and it's gonna be annoying because then you're basically not gonna have immortal anymore, and then the curse is gonna be draining your HP. It's gonna be very interesting, but like I guess if you're like a veteran or a pro, like you dodge everything, you don't get hit by environmental effects, and I guess this is definitely gonna be insane. I do want to see what the 8 effect set does because knowing what that does will actually help me decide if I'd actually use it or not. But yeah, I mean it doesn't really show the belt here. So I'm not even entirely sure where the belt comes into play. Maybe the belt, you equip the gems onto the belt, or the cards onto the belt. I'm not entirely sure because I don't see the belt anywhere here. Only thing I see is the helmet, chest, boots, and gloves, and then the necklace, bracer, ring, and earrings. So I'm not entirely sure. Like I don't know when they're going to implement that. I don't know when. Pretty interesting though. At least we got half of what the set does. I'm pretty sure someone else probably has information on what the full set does. I'd have to go snooping around, but this is the information basically he's provided and the one that I'm using currently. But yeah, overall, got a lot of interesting things finally coming to the game. It's going to spice things up so I don't feel like I'm just spamming gates every day and encores. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't take too long because I mean, the reset time for this game is at the worst time for me. It's actually really bad. Like, I just get out of work and I have like 4 hours to just rush all my content. It's super annoying. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, bro, and I'll just do it, bro. I'll get it done. You know what I'm saying? All right, you guys. I've been yapping a lot, bro. It was a pretty lengthy video. I appreciate you guys for watching. Be sure to follow my boy Alpha Leaker, and, providing all this information so that way we could plan ahead. Love the man, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm dying. Peace.